Right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and Happy New Year. I don't know about you, but I love the new year. To me, New Year is an opportunity to start fresh, learn from our past, but really get things done. So good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maggie Gahagan, your district director, officially as of today, and I'm very excited about that. So what I wanted to do, and this is part of my planning about 6 months ago, is have town halls, but have them on a regular basis. I like to have them the first Thursday of every month. I believe as district leaders, we should be visible, accessible, and accountable. And this is the start of that. And I can't think of a better time to start than on the first day of the program here. I'd like to congratulate everybody for finishing their past year strong. I know it was definitely challenging because of COVID and many other things, but we had 28 distinguished clubs this year, and not as high as we have had in the past, and certainly nowhere near what we're going to have this new year now that we are started. So congratulations for your hard work. Tonight, what I thought we'd do is get started by introducing the district leadership team, and then we have, there is an agenda, and if someone could post that agenda, Robin or Marty, if you have that handy, that would be awesome. I'd like to introduce the district leadership team, and then we have a motivational speaker who Tishan is going to introduce. And then we have the last 30 minutes just for conversation, to answer your questions and to just get to know each other a little bit better. I'd like to encourage everybody to put your cameras on, more so because I like to put names with faces, and I feel that that helps all the leaders if we know who we are, and then we can develop relationships, which is, to me, the best part of Toastmasters. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the trio. In addition to myself being on the trio, we have Marty Buzzard, and he is our program quality director. Marty, would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone.
This is the type of relationship Marty and I have. I've challenged him to help me have fun as district leadership this year, and I believe if you have fun, then, well, then work is not so much work. And Marty, did you want to tell them what you're responsible for in a sentence?
As soon as I find out, I will let everyone know. As program quality director, I am responsible for the district training, not only the summer and winter leadership institutes, but training throughout the year. And we have a great slate set up for you this year. We're in the second year of a 5-year education program, and we learned a lot in the first year last year, and we're making some changes to upgrade it and to enhance it. And we're really excited about it, and we're looking forward to it. The second thing that I'm responsible for is the contests. And we are going to all of the District Executive Council, the DEC, has to vote by July 31st as to whether we are going to hold the contests face-to-face or virtually. And we can vote to do it face-to-face and make one change to do it virtually, but then we can't come back. And we're only talking about the district level, the division level, and the area level. The clubs are welcome to do it however they want. They can hold it virtually, they can hold it face-to-face, it doesn't matter. But the district has to do it one way or the other. And we will vote on that coming up sometime this month, probably on the 10th, I think, which is our DEC meeting. And the third thing I'm responsible for is the road to Roanoke. We have not had a face-to-face conference in 2 years. 2 years ago, we were going to go out to Roanoke. Last year, we were going to go out to Roanoke. And we couldn't do it for some, I don't know, some panda bear or something, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go this year. And it's in April 30th and May 1st and 2nd, and we're all excited and we're looking forward to it. And that's what I'm going to be doing for you this year.
Thank you, Marty. That's a lot of work to get done. And next, I'd like to introduce our Club Growth Director, Tashawn Harris-Gorgie. And Tashawn, if you'd like to share a quick overview of what you do as Club Growth Director. Did we lose Tashawn?
She's muted.
Okay, Tashawn, you're muted.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. As Club Growth Director, I am excited to serve our district in helping us to obtain President Distinguished this year by growing clubs and strengthening our existing clubs. So as your Club Growth Director, I'm looking forward to working with each division as we add to our numbers and lead us to President Distinguished this year.
Thank you, Tashawn. And before I move on to the managers, I'd like to introduce two other individuals who have served on the district. And first is Perry Neal. Perry, are you still with us? I know you have to go shortly. And then Frank Golan. Frank has also served in district leadership as a past governor. So thank you both for your time, and well, you both have taught me a lot. So now I'm going to move on to the managers. Our first manager I'd like to introduce is John Roberts. He's our public relations manager. John, do you like to say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Kudos to Marty. So I'll be serving my second term as a public relations manager. I work to make sure that everyone here knows everything that's going on in the district, from the district director down to the rank and file members. And I want to also make sure that everyone outside of Toastmasters know what we have to offer so we can bring them into our tribe. We need to grow the district, and that's my goal this year. The biggest thing we're focused on right now for the people that are here, especially those officers, is emails are now set up for you. They should be set up. I've sent out confirmation emails. So just make sure you're getting those and get back to me that they're working so we can make sure all the important information Maggie, Marty, and Tashawn have gets down to you guys so we can distribute it to the clubs. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Can you tell the district leadership is planning on having fun this year? I like the energy that everyone brings. Next, I'd like to introduce Robin Jenkins, our administrative manager. Robin.
Good evening, everyone. My responsibilities include the creating of the agendas and the distribution of the minutes and keeping our records within our district archives. Back to you, Maggie.
Thank you. The other thing Robin does is keep me straight on everything. And there's no way I can know what's going on a day-to-day basis without Robin. And what more can I say? Next is our finance manager, Kayla Vaughn. Kayla.
Hey everybody, my name is Kayla Vaughn, and I'll let you know what I'm supposed to be doing as soon as Marty tells me. So Maggie has to tell Marty, and then Marty has to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Just kidding. Marty, I'll let you off the hook. So as finance manager, I basically just do the budget and keep up with the ingoing and outgoing monies and audits and things to that effect. Back to you, Maggie.
Thank you. And next, you might recognize this person. Our logistics manager this year is my dear friend, Linda Kennedy. Linda?
Hello, everybody. As Maggie said, logistics manager, if you don't know what that is, think of your club sergeant at arms. It's just on a district level. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Linda. And next is our parliamentarian, Frederica Ricks.
Oh, good evening, and thank you, Maggie. I am the one that makes sure that everyone in the district has a voice. During the course of our meetings, we'll make sure we follow Robert's Rule order, and we're going to have a good time. So that left side of my brain has gotten bigger when it comes down to those rules, because we know Robert didn't stray from a rule. Okay, thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Freddie. Next is our incentives chair, Annette Jensen. I saw Annette come in.
She did, yes. And
Okay.
I'm off camera. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
that's
Or
fine.
maybe you're welcome off camera.
Annette,
So
if you
for
could just share with them.
incentives, yes. So for incentives, we're going to have an exciting year this year. We're going to be on top of things as to what's going on with the different education awards and so on. They will be on the website for everybody to follow. And we will also be following up with everybody just to remind everybody what's coming up so we can make this a great year for District 66. Back to you, Maggie.
Thank you. And Annette, John has everything for the incentives. They should be going on the website very, very soon. I can tell you, John's very quick on getting things on there. So look for all that information. Next, I'd like to just introduce our division directors, and actually two other people. I don't know if I see them, but new positions that we have this year is we have an advisory to our area directors and division directors, a committee, and it's going to be Kathy Reynolds, who's going to be working mostly with the division directors, and Christine Vey, who's going to be working mostly with the area directors. And it's really just meant to be a support for the area directors and division directors. We're going to be going over lots of training, and Kathy and Christine are heavily going to be involved with that. I don't know if either one of them's here. If they are, you can say hello, but I didn't see them come in. If not, you will be seeing them lots of other times. Okay, at this time, I'm going to just go through the division directors and announce them, and you'll get to meet the area directors at a later point. So for Division A, it's Deb Farron. And for Division B, we have Martha Stevens. Division C is John Jones. Division E is Jim Kennedy. Division F is Venus Wilmer. Did I miss one? Division, yes, I did. Division D is Jamar Skiles. So they are already heavily working with their teams, and we will have, well, we're gonna have a really busy year this year, getting lots of stuff done, lots of training going on already. And what can I say? We're, you know, I see Charles Gates is coming in. Charles gave a great motivational presentation at our crossover meeting on June 26th. It's already passed. I keep thinking this date far in advance, and it's already passed. But he already got them fired up. And well, at this time, I'm going to see if we're ready for our guest speaker. Chishanju, are you ready to?
Sure, I think
okay.
Master Tracy is available. So Tracy Baker loves music, movies, fishing, and sunshine. He has been a Toastmaster for 26 years. He is an Air Force retired communications officer in Dayton, Ohio, where he just chaired the 2021 District 40 Toastmasters Conference in April. He is a four-time DTM, multiple award winner, and is VPE and treasurer of his home club, Dayton United Communicators. Today, DTM Baker will present a 15-minute pep talk entitled, "This Girl is on Fire." Let me proudly introduce to you fellow Toastmaster DTM Tracy Baker.
This girl is on fire. Madam District Director, Program Quality Director, and Club Growth Director Tashawn, this girl is on fire. And you're probably saying to yourself, what are you talking about, Tracy Baker? You are a handsome man. You look like Denzel Washington, King Kong, ain't got nothing on me. So what are you talking about? This girl is on fire. Are you okay? Do you need to go call Marty and then talk to Kayla about money to figure out if your money's on or not? I don't know. But fellow Toastmasters, and my good friend Robin and Linda Kennedy, hello, all the way from Dayton, Ohio. I have been in Toastmasters for 26 years, as you heard. And I know I look young. I know I look like I'm still in college, but I've been doing this a long time, Madam District Director. And when I go places, I like to tell folks a story. I like to tell folks about this girl because my name is Tracy. And when I was growing up, Tracy's a girl's name, Tracy's a girl's name. No, it's not. Tracy's a girl's name, Tracy's a girl's name. No, it's not. Please stop. And while you're having fun and laughing at my expense right now, Mr. William McDonald, I'll tell you this. it wasn't so fun all those years ago because Mr. Sean, I would hear that Tracy's a girl's name, Tracy's a girl's name, and it would send shivers through my body. I wish I was in Roanoke on the road to Roanoke instead of where I was because it was earth shattering. And I said to myself, instead of looking at that as a negative thing, why don't I look at it as a positive thing? Because in the world we live in right now, fellow Toastmasters, everything is crazy. So today I'm going to tell you a quick story about my life, my Toastmasters experience, but I'm not going to do it in a normal, usual, share my slides type of, I'm going to tell it to you from my life story. And I was so excited for this opportunity from Tashawn. I actually logged in yesterday, a day early, because I was so eager. And when I logged in, I said, District 66 might not have it together because it's 6:35 and nobody's on the call. So I sent Tashawn a message. I said, hey, where you guys at? And then she said, oh, it's tomorrow. And I said, oh, thanks. I was embarrassed. And as soon as I hung the phone up, I heard this music playing. And I said to myself, what just happened? Am I filled with so much excitement, Miss Dorothy, that I want to come out here to District 66 in Virginia to talk to y'all, to give y'all a pep talk about this upcoming, amazing, wonderful year? Yes, because it's going to be great. District 66 is going to be on fire. And I don't mean in a bad way, it's going to be great. You got a wonderful district director. You got a wonderful trio, and your trio is your triumph. That's why you're on fire, because I look around, I see all these women, Miss Dorothy Ware, my good friend Dorothy Ware, all these folks that are out there that are ready to be on fire. And so when I remember back to when they were calling me name, Tracy's a girl's name, Tracy's a girl's name, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know how I was gonna find my voice because I didn't have a voice. The only voice I had was for combat. The only voice I had was defense. I didn't have any offense. I didn't have anything to share because I was too busy being scared and saying, oh my gosh. So all these years later, fellow Toastmasters, I have looked back at those circumstances and I've said, you know what? Instead of me running Mr. Marty and Mr. Perry from that very vulgar, Tracy's a girl's name, I should have embraced it. And I did years later. So Tracy is a girl's name, became an acronym for me. Girl became an acronym for me. It became God inspired. It became respected. And it became loved. So Tracy's a girl's name. You're absolutely right, because I'm God inspired, I'm respected and loved, not only in the Toastmasters world, but in the world in general. And fellow Toastmasters, I want to share with you all today how I got to this point, this realization, because part of why I'm here today and part of why I'm able to express myself and use my voice is because of Toastmasters and because of things I learned in this program and things I was able to do because of this program. So I'm going to start this journey way back in 1995, when a lot of you weren't even around. Well, maybe you all were, because you all look about my age. I've just turned 50. I know I look 32, but I'm 50. David, you know what I'm talking about. I'm 50 years old. I joined Toastmasters over half my years ago. 26 years I've been doing this. So I've been doing it over half of my life. And I found Toastmasters by accident, Madam District Director. I was in the United States Air Force. I was feeling good, flying high, doing some great things. And I ended up finding this place called Toastmasters. And when I found Toastmasters, I said, wow, what is this? I saw of course, that wasn't the logo, but you know what I'm trying to say. I saw the logo and I walked into the building, Mr. Larry, and I said, hey, what is this all about? Oh, you're in a military uniform. Why don't you come on in and give us an icebreaker? An icebreaker, what's that? Oh, just talk about yourself for 4 to 6 minutes, because we don't have any speeches prepared. We don't even have an agenda. We just barely came into the room on time to make sure that we had a meeting. But since you're here now, why don't you speak? And something was off about that, Madam, Mr. Marty, Mr. Program Quality Director, because I thought meetings were supposed to be prepared. I thought meetings were supposed to have a speaker. I thought meetings were supposed to be fun-filled, and this was not. I was the only speaker. And when I spoke, Mr. Dwayne, I must have spoke with the passion and energy of all the great speakers of the world, because they said to me, Miss Kayla, hey, we want you to be the president. So the next week, Mr. William, after 2 weeks of being exposed to Toastmasters, I was a club president. It gets even better, because 3 months later, they picked me to be the area director 3 months after knowing what Toastmasters was. Was that good or bad? I guess it's probably good, because I don't know who else could have handled that. I don't know if anybody else out there has a story about joining Toastmasters, like off the bat, giving your icebreaker, becoming an officer, becoming a district officer, all within 3 months. I did that. And when I did, it started a trajectory on my path to Roanoke to let me set me for 26 years worth of speaking excellence, having fun, going around the world and doing things to make things happen. For all of you out there today, I want you all to know that you all have a story. You all have something to share, but are you sharing it? It's okay to have a title. Yes, Madam District Director, you're the district director, but are you sharing your story? Admin Manager Robin, are you sharing your story? I tell folks about how when I first started Toastmasters, I wasn't nervous. It was never a nervous thing for me. It was never a thing where I had to prepare speeches. I've never written a speech once. This speech today is not prepared. This is off the top because I don't believe in share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. When I hear those words, I say, oh my gosh, no. Why did they bring that feature of share your screen? No, share your story. And when you share your story, make it authentic. Don't research it. Don't sit there and write for hours and hours and do slides and slides with bells and whistles and cars. No, tell me about that time you were playing basketball and you did a crossover and you hurt your ankle and that derailed your dreams from being a basketball star, but you became a pediatrician. Tell me about that story. And I see that Rihanna Liker is like, she likes to have her presentations prepared. Hey, it's all more power for you. Good. Have your presentations prepared. Do your slide to screen. Share the screen. That's fine. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I want you to share your story. Preparation is part of life. You should be prepared at all times to share your story. When you're on an elevator, that elevator speech of your story. When you're talking to someone and they've had a bad day and they're probably thinking about the world is crumbling down around them, share your story. You're not always going to have time to share slides and share your screens. That's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying on top of that is everyone has to know that they have a voice. Some people don't know that they have a voice. Some people don't know they have a choice. So what they should do is look deep within inside themselves and say, I can do this. And I'm sure that District 66 is doing that right now, because as I look around the room, I see Martha and I see all these folks, the Tanya Hicks, that are powerful looking speakers that have something to say and want to say something. So I encourage all of you to find a way to look deep inside yourselves, find your story, find your voice, and tell your story. That's how your clubs grow and develop, because you're getting pathway speeches, pathway level by telling your stories. And then the area looks good. All you area directors out there that are first timers today, welcome to the world of area direction. It's going to be great for you to be able to work with your clubs and make sure that they're all taken care of with the goal in mind of making District 66 look good through your divisions. It's all steps. And when everyone works together, have fun, like it sounds like you all are, and it sounds like everyone's going to be depending on Marty and Maggie to make sure that everything is done. And that's okay, because once we get the answers from them, they're going to tell me the answers so I know what's going on. So fellow Toastmasters out there in District 66, Virginia, where I was stationed for 4 years as a United States Air Force officer in beautiful Hampton Roads, beautiful Langley Air Force Base, been to Roanoke plenty of times, been to Fredericksburg, been to all those places. And I'll tell you, Virginia has some of the best fishing, some of the best outdoors, some of the best wildlife, some of the best theme parks that I've ever been in my life. So you folks are geographically in a place where you can have fun all summer, do some great things, have some great fun, but share your stories about those trips you're taking, about those vacations you're taking, about all those things that you're doing to make things happen. Why are we on fire? Why is this girl on fire? Because I'm God inspired, I'm respected, and I'm loved. And I tell people that story when I talk about my life, when I share my life, when I share my story. And I want you all to figure out how you're on fire. What are you doing? Now, a lot of you probably heard my title and probably thought I was going to get up and start singing, she's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, only a highway. No, that's not the girl I'm talking about. I'm talking about me. I want every one of you out there to figure out what your song is, what your play on words is, what your fun is that you're talking about. And when you do so, you'll have fun. You'll have a good time at your meetings. You'll have a good time at your district conference in Roanoke in person. Madam District Director coming up, and I would love to come if you pay my expenses, but we'll see what happens. Just continue to have fun with this program, fellow Toastmasters. Don't worry about the COVID or the cicadas or the racial imbalance or the election fiasco, because there is so much going on in our lives. We will never be stable enough to enjoy it all at the same time. So here's my challenge to every single one of you. Figure out what it is that puts you at fire. What makes you burn? What makes you want to get up in the morning and just jump around and do all the things that you have to do to get ready for the day? Whatever that is, make sure that you bottle that up make sure you make that contagious. Make sure you make that infectious. Make sure you're giving it to your children and your mates and your spouses and your clubs, and make that fire burn. The roof is on fire. But instead of letting it burn, just make sure that fire is being directed towards that energy that we're gonna burn to make District 66 great. Let's make District 66 Presidents Distinguished. Let's do all these things that we can together to make sure that every single one of us is a girl on fire. God inspired, respected and loved person, a Toastmaster, or whatever title you have in your life, that's fine. But at the same time, make sure that title is not keeping you away from doing the things that you have to do to share with your fellow people, your fellow man, your fellow woman, to make sure that everyone's doing well. So who's with me? Who's ready to burn? Who's ready to set this district on fire? If you are, then all you have to do is just 3 simple things. There's always 3 things in a speech that I want to leave you with. The 3 simple things are, number 1, no matter what level you're at, no matter who you are, no matter what title you have, set a goal. At least one goal. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, just set a goal. Miss Martha's goal might be to complete a path this year. That's what her goal is. Okay, great. So complete those 3 paths. And she's showing me her finger, 3 paths. That's great. Do your 3 paths. The second part of that is to develop a plan. Every district has a district success plan based upon their goal. Every single person can do that. Every club can do that. Every division can do that. Have a goal, have a motto, have a song, have whatever you need to do to inspire yourself and to motivate yourself, which is the third part of my trio. The third part of my trio is to be inspired from within. You all can inspire me by showing up tonight for this town hall and doing some great things over the course of the year, but I won't benefit from it because I'm way out here in District 40 out in Dayton, Ohio. You can only inspire yourself from within District 66 to do things for District 66 that's going to put them up on the map. Because no matter how many times I speak here, none of my education awards are going to go towards District 66. But Miss Latanya's will, Miss Robbins will, and of course, Mr. PQD, Mr. Marty's will. So that's all internal for you all. So if you all want to be on fire, if you all want to be a girl on fire, if you all want to be a man on fire, all you have to do is speak. All you have to do is set a goal. All you have to do is make sure you develop a plan to get that goal accomplished. And finally, you got to burn and motivate yourself to push through whatever fiascos or drama or masks or whatever you have to do to make sure that District 66 rises to the top on that road, on that way to beautiful Roanoke, Virginia. Let's be on fire, fellow Toastmasters. Find a way today to let your fire burn. Find a way to be that girl on fire, just the same way that I am. Now, with that being said, I'll take any questions. If anybody has any comments, Madam District Director, I would love to answer whatever you have for me. Please just raise your hand and I'll call on you.
I would just like to invite everyone to ask Tracy if they have any questions at this time.
Oh, now don't everybody be shy now. I know you got some questions.
Tracy, I'd just like to say, you go, girl.
I can't do the snap, but I was gonna try to do the snap. Just pretend like that's a snap.
So how did it feel to be a president after just joining a club, or being an area director right after you've joined Toastmasters? What was the biggest challenge for you?
Honestly, distinguished Toastmaster Linda King, let me give you a round of applause just for being the person you are. Let me just take off the top with that. That's the first thing. Number one, I didn't know any different. I've been a leader since I was 14, 15 years old. In my neighborhood, I used to organize meetings and talks. We have speech contests way back in the day to figure out who would tell the best story about the car they were going to have one day. So I was doing table topics for years. When I stumbled across Toastmasters, I saw that logo and I was just intrigued by the logo. Is that about food? Is that about, what is that about? Let me go in and find out. And Madam District Director, what I found when I went there was that though I didn't know about Toastmasters, I knew I didn't like the way that meeting looked. It was unorganized. Everybody was just kind of sitting around. I didn't like it. And I'm the same way today. If I go to a meeting, there's no agenda, there's no energy, there's no like, I walk out. I get technical difficulties and I drop off the Zoom call if I'm on a Zoom. How did I feel? Years later, I felt kind of bad because that was the state of Toastmasters in the area, the division I was at the time. Since then, that whole area in Turkey kind of went away with Toastmasters. Now they have some different places. But how did I feel? I felt great from the standpoint of I was able to use my leadership skills, my communication skills in a very organic way. And I was able to jump into those leadership positions, which is what I tell other people, whether or not they have a bunch of degrees or a bunch of titles behind their name or letters behind their name, just believe in your leadership skills, jump in, try. I know a lot of people join Toastmasters, oh, I'll give my icebreaker in 6 months, or oh, I'm not going to be a club officer because I don't have the experience. I jumped into the fray, and I've been doing this for 26 years. I've done division director twice, a couple of area directors. I've done all types of TLI presenters, all those type of things. And every step of the way, distinguished Toastmaster Linda, I found that I've learned and grown and developed even more as a leader, as a speaker. But what I like to do even better is, just like I went to that first meeting and I was pulled in to be the president, I like to identify talent now and push people towards those leadership opportunities to make themselves even better. So it was kind of a thing where I was forced to do it. I did it. And here I am 26 years later to attest to all you that I am on fire.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Wonderful. Thank you for your response.
Unless there's any other questions, I am going to have everybody unmute and thank Tracy with a loud round of applause for his night.
Thank you, Madam District Director. I really appreciate that too.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tracy.
Thank you so much.
Great speech.
So as everyone can see on the agenda, at 7 o'clock, we're going to move into questions and answers. And I like to start things on time and end things on time. And I firmly believe when you have an agenda, you should stick to it. I like to ask everyone to put their name in the chat along with their club so we can keep track of who is here. And that way we get to know each other a little bit better. I like to start by asking if anybody has any questions. This is your opportunity to ask anybody on district leadership what you'd like to ask us, and then tell us things that you'd like to see that you might not have seen in the past, because we are here to serve you and here to learn from you, as well as tell you anything that you'd like to know about district leadership.
Maggie?
Yes, Frank. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Well, I'll just throw that out there here. I don't know what the experience was in your club over the last year and a half with COVID and being online and Zooming and all this jazz. Our experience at VCU Toastmasters is we've done quite well. We finished up 2020 as a President's Distinguished Club, and then we turned around and followed it up with a Select Distinguished this year. So our club has been doing the things it needs to do, and that is maintain its membership and help our members reach their goal by finishing their educational achievements. If every club works with its members to reach the members' goals, then the things will happen and people will be distinguished, and then the areas will be distinguished, and then the district is distinguished. Divisions are distinguished, and then the district is distinguished. In fact, this is the wonderfulness about the current distinguished club plan these days. Over 20 years ago, when I was a district governor, it was a very, very strange and unusual and arcane system with 24 different ways of earning points and fractional points and very strange things. But one thing I do remember from that, and I'll share this with everybody because you all need to keep this in mind. Back in the day, they used to reward us for renewing 75% of our members twice a year. If you renewed at 75%, you got a point. And for every 5% you were above that, you got another point. So if you got up to 100%, that was great. I want you to think about that. Toastmasters was thinking that you would lose a quarter of your club every 6 months. Now, I know that doesn't happen in anybody's club. But when I look over the trend that I've seen at VCU Toastmasters, and we have more than 20 years of record, so we have a long track record here. That's in fact what I see us averaging on average. Every 6 months, we lose about 20–25% of the club, and we have to add new members. So while I know people think, oh, it's such a burden to ask people to join, do not ask people to join. Ask people to come to your meeting, to see you speak, to see a friend speak, to hear something. Never ask them to come to a club to join. Have them see what Toastmasters is about. I can almost guarantee that well over half, probably closer to 80% in my experience, will go, that was pretty interesting. That wasn't scary at all. I could sort of do that. They'll ask you about joining the club once they see a quality meeting. And that's where Marty's job is to help you make sure that you're having quality meetings. But if everybody will focus on their club, if every club will focus on its club and reach its goals, I think the district will have a fantastic year, because that's what it's all about. I will say one more thing. We are going to come back probably starting around Labor Day. We're going to come back, and we're going to come back in a hybrid mode. We are going to be both live and we are going to be online. So if anybody would like to talk about that, I'll stick my email in the chat. So if you want to send me an email, we'll talk about that. We think we know how it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. As it turns out, at VCU, it turns about a quarter of our membership is over on the medical campus. And you go, oh, well, they're only a mile apart. That can't be that hard at lunchtime for people to come over. You obviously haven't driven around downtown Richmond or any major city.
Or been in healthcare.
Or been on healthcare. It takes you a good 15 minutes to walk to the parking lot where your car is, and then you have to get in your car, and then you have to drive that mile. And it's only a mile, but it's not, you don't get there in a minute, you get there in 10 minutes. So now it's 25 minutes just to get to the building, and now you have to go into the building. So that's another 10 minutes to get. So it's over half an hour just to go from your office to get to the meeting. And oh, by the way, as a good Toastmaster, you don't arrive at 2 minutes before the meeting starts, do you? You want to arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the meeting starts, especially if you have a role, especially if you're an officer.
Thank you, Frank. If you can put that your name, your contact information in there, that'd be great. I know several people are.
I know, I got long-winded. I'm a DTM, don't time me.
And that's okay, because I'm good at redirecting as needed. I know several people are interested in hybrid / blended meetings, so please put that information in there. And we will be having a training in September. I believe it's September 19th, Marty, on blended meetings. Is that correct, Marty?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. All right, Dot Ware, I see you have your hand up.
Lynchburg Toastmasters is already doing hybrid meetings. We've had it for, I think, 1.5, 2 months now.
Okay, that's excellent. And we'd like to have that information. So please send that to us. Anything, you can send information to the trio on that, and that would be awesome. All right, Dot, back to you.
I have 2 quick questions for you.
Sure.
Very first question is, what would be your understanding and your advice on the letter that officers received from TI? I forget the name of the letter for us to sign as officers. What's your take on that? And should we sign it, or I mean, what's the deal?
That is a letter of officer agreement. I can tell you, as a trio member, as an area director, division director, in every position I've been in, I have signed that. And that is our commitment to be to what job we're saying we're going to do. I believe that when you sign up for a job, you should do that job. If you can't, because life happens, we all have families, work, and other things that happen, and that interferes with us doing our job sometimes. But when you sign up for a job, you should do it. And to me, that's just making that commitment that you're doing what you said you would do when you said you would be an officer. So I don't have a problem with it, because I've been signing them, well, for 5 of my 6 years. And that's just how I look at it. I have high expectations for everybody in district leadership. And I think there's something to be said about having that written commitment to doing things. So.
Okay, and my next question, how many, and I don't know who would have this information, how many educational goals or goals did we meet this year as a district?
Marty, can they answer that?
809.
Sorry?
809.
And what was our goal?
1,200.
1,200.
Okay.
But we also were about 800 members short of where our targeted membership was. I have challenged the district leadership, meaning the trio, the division directors, all the managers, and the area directors, all to earn a triple crown. I feel that when you get into leadership, you often forget about your personal journey and you spend a lot of time doing things in leadership, and then you don't do the education awards. I've done that more years than I care to admit. So it's a challenge I put out to the district leadership to lead by example, to earn a triple crown, which means earning 3 educational awards throughout the year. That means level 1, level 2, level 3, or any combination of that, because I firmly believe that as leaders, we should lead by example.
So are we going to be getting our Triple Crown pens if we have earned them this year?
The awards gala, Mr. William Tyree is in charge of that as the immediate past district director, and that is scheduled, I believe, for September 18th. I have to look at it. So
I think that's right.
Okay.
so the awards for this past program year will be in September. It used to be we had a fall conference,
I know.
and
Yeah.
that's when you got things. And right, so now we've replaced that with a awards gala. Last year it was September, then it got October, and then it was December because of COVID. We're going to be back on track and do it in September.
Okay,
And
thank you so much.
you're
If I
welcome.
can expand on what Maggie said, as education awards under the pathways is actually much easier than it was under the legacy program. Because if you remember, you had to complete the competent communicator. That was 10 speeches. Pathways, each level is 3 to 4 speeches. That means that if you do 3 levels, that's maybe 10, 11 speeches. That's as much as you had to do to get 1 education award under the legacy. So no excuse, people, for not getting at least a triple crown.
And the triple crown this year, there's a different pin. So we have 2 different options for that. And we will be keeping track of all that along with our incentives, and all the incentives will be posted very soon on the district webpage. Other questions?
I have a question about the signing up for the officers training. When I clicked on the link that's on the website, it gave me like the morning classes, but I didn't see where I could sign up for like the officer training. And I was trying to find out if we were going to get some. We normally get an email, or maybe I went to the wrong one. I went to the SLI and it just showed me some morning classes.
Marty?
When you log into ProClass, the SLI, it will probably just show you the morning classes. You have to select, I think it's Q1 2021, 2022. That will show you all of the COT, the club officer training classes that are available to you. And if you still have difficulty, send me an email and I will get you through it.
Another thing we've made it easier this year is access to the Trio. So if you have questions, you can send it to trio@tmdistrict66.org. And that way it goes to all 3 of us, and whoever is the most appropriate person will answer that, but it also helps us be accountable. So if it comes under program quality and training, Marty should be answering that. If it comes to membership or about clubs, Shashan should be answering that. Well, and I guess everything else is mine, but we will be holding each other accountable during our weekly meetings to make sure that we are getting back to the members. Other questions, comments? Martha?
The question I had, Maggie, had to do with the 5-year strategic plan. And when I was going over that material, it talked about surveys that was conducted, I think maybe last year. So I wanted to find out how do I get more information about the content of those surveys, because I was interested in possibly doing something like that, but I don't want to kind of reinvent the wheel.
Surveys that were to be completed?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know that all of them were completed because we did not quite get to everything in the 5-year strategic plan. With COVID, we did some things that we didn't plan on doing. So we went into year 2 for certain things because of COVID. but we didn't necessarily get to everything. So I will have to get back to you, Martha, on that, unless Marty, you have an answer for that. I know you've been diving into the strategic 5-year plan.
Yes, I don't have any more information than that on those because I don't know which surveys have been submitted and which one haven't to date.
So I will get back to that. I know I really don't think they were done the way we would like to do, because some of the surveys we wanted to do last year was a database for our members. We wanted to know who was good at what. And the reason I did the video I did this week is we were trying to add more people to our committees. If you're good at public relations, or if you're good in human resources, we'd like to have you on our committees. One of the things I think that this district could use help with is sustainability in our committees. The trio changes every year. Division directors change every year. What I'd like to see is the committee stay there. The chairperson may change every year. And we're doing that this year. Last year, as in yesterday, when I was program quality director, we had education team or PQD team, and now Marty is taking over that, but that committee is still there this year. We're adding more people. We lost a few people because they're going in other positions. Like Robin can't be as involved this year because, well, she's following me, and she can't be as involved as she was last year, but we're reaching out and getting more people involved. So that's one of the things we were trying to do last year that we didn't get to, is a database of who is good at what in the district. Because I don't know who all the auditors are. I don't know who all the trainers are. I don't know that. And that's a way for us to get to know that. So it'd be a great HPL. I know Kathy Reynolds is looking for help if somebody wants to work on that. We're gonna have lots of HPL opportunities for you this year. I guarantee you. If you tell me you're looking for something, I will find you something.
Maggie, if I can step back for Dorothy's question on the Triple Crowns. Last year, we had 79 of them that will be receiving awards. 9 of them were for people who did 6 or more education awards. We even had one that did 9 education awards and one person that did 12. So we have a total of 90 people who will be receiving the Triple Crown Award this year.
And one thing we decided, because we think we're going to have an awful lot of education awards this year, is that we'll be awarding 1 Triple Crown. We want you to earn more than 3 awards. However, we have a smaller budget to work with this year because our membership is down, and that is what our budget is based on. And we also will probably have higher expenses this year because we are going to be traveling more, and we'll have different expenses going on there. This past year being on Zoom, we haven't had any travel expenses at all. So that's one of the reasons we made that decision. We will find other ways to recognize you for your great hard work, but got to put a limit on some things because we have a limited amount of money to work with, and we want to be fiscally responsible. Nathan, oh, that's a clap. Any other questions? Tell me what you want to see that you haven't seen in the past. Tell your trio and your managers what you'd like to see. Oh, that's easy. I got that.
Maggie, Nathan Toth has his hand raised.
Yes, Nathan.
Yeah, I was just wondering, hold on just a second. Something just came up in my screen and I'm worried that it's shutting down. All right. So I had asked a question earlier about whether we know what the contests are going to be at the higher levels above us, because I think that would influence our decision a little bit.
Would you like to handle this?
You mean it's going to be the international speech, and then the second speech this year was Tall Tales.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't met with the education team. We've been kind of spending our time on the SLI. So once that's done, we're going to meet with the contest team and we're going to come up with it. The options are humor speech, evaluation, table topics.
Mhm.
So it'll be one of those three.
Yeah, my question is around the voting for format, virtual versus in person. And I was wondering what once we get above the district, what they're planning to do. Because practicing the same way might be helpful.
We don't know what's going to happen above the district.
Okay.
My guess is this year it was all virtual. I think next year, once we vote and decide by July 31st, whether it's going to be virtual or face-to-face, we'll probably get some direction from TI as to which direction they're going to go in.
Okay.
So we really don't have an answer for that yet.
Gotcha.
So my plan is for the deck is to send the information out to the deck is the district executive committee, which is the area directors, division directors, and the trio. That information will go out on this Saturday for us to vote next Saturday on what we want to do at the area division and the district level. And as Marty shared earlier, we can choose to have our contest in person and then go to virtual, but or we choose to have them online being virtual, and then we cannot switch back. So I think what it really comes down to is we can choose to meet in person for the area director area and above for those contests that will be in March. But if COVID gets worse, then we have the option of going back. However, if we decide to meet online for our contest, we cannot change that. That information will be going out to the deck on Saturday. And so they have it a week in advance to review.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes, Marty. Marty's reading my mind. He just asked me if I wanted to have everybody turn their camera on, we'll get a picture. We like to have pictures and promote all the great things we're doing. We want people to know that they're missing out by not being at the things that we have going on at the district level. So please turn on your videos and we'll get some pictures. And then, well, and then we have a few more minutes. I will stay online as long as everybody likes to. Ooh, it looks like we have 2 pages. Who's in charge of this, Marty, you or me?
You.
Yeah, I should not delegate that way. Okay, everybody smile. We're gonna get several pictures. And I have more than one screen, which I love. All right, I have those and we will put them up. So I'd like to encourage everybody, if you're not on Facebook or for our district pages, get on there. There's division Facebook groups. We're putting lots of stuff out there. And John is putting lots of stuff up there as well as the calendar. We have so much going on. I can tell you, we've been working very hard and we're very excited. I like to see everybody set some goals this year. As a district, the leadership team is setting goals. We are working on out of a book called The 12-Week Year. It's a wonderful book that actually Reggie Ford, past district director and international director, and I started reading a book club a couple of years ago. We're using it as our philosophy to plans. We're actually having a meeting tomorrow night. Robin is doing a level 5 and it's a panel discussion on the 12-week year. So if you'd like to join us for that, it's all about having a goal and having a vision, setting goals and achieving it through that. And I see a couple hands going up here. If whoever would like to jump in, please do.
Maura Thomason had a question. Her question was, how many clubs closed in District 66 during this pandemic year, and how many clubs are still active?
Currently, as of today, finishing up yesterday, we have 92 clubs. Our base was 107, so we are down 15 clubs. I have a feeling a few more of those are closing. Tashawn has been working very hard to get the dissolution forms for those that we know or we think are closing. If they don't fill out a form and get it to TI, then they have 2 payment periods, actually 3 payment periods now until they get suspended. So bottom line answer, we've lost approximately 15 clubs and hopefully we're gonna, well, not hopefully, we will be rebuilding this year. And those that are on the lower side of membership, we will be building those memberships up. Other questions? Got 6 minutes. Charles Gates, you've been way too quiet tonight. I'm not used to that.
I got it a little late. I was caught in the storms. I was a bit wet.
That's okay.
Have a beautiful, hey, wonderful town hall. I like the fact that you've given us goals, and I hope everyone takes those goals. I don't know if you saw in my chat about
I cannot
you
read
being on point with the encouraging us to join different parts of the district leadership team. You don't have to be an area director, you don't have to be a division director, but there are so many places that want you and your skill sets. And I just gave one example, District 102 overseas, they have 17 people on their PR team alone. There is no reason why District 66 can't do the same. But we don't know what your skill sets are, what you're good at, unless you let us know. And whatever your skill sets are, there is a place for you in District 66.
Absolutely. I will find a place for you. Absolutely. And we are definitely looking for more help on the PR team, the Zoom team. I need 4 more area directors. If you're interested in that, please contact me. And I need I need a lot of area directors. We are encouraging every one of our area directors to have an assistant this year. The reason we want to do that is we feel that we are giving them the opportunity to learn as an assistant area director, but it also takes some of the burden off the area director, and it's building a team, but we're building leaders for the future. And like I said, I have high goals that we are going to be President's Distinguished. And in order to do that, we need to get down and work hard to do that, but work smart. And I think when the more people we have, the better. You know, many hands make light work. So get involved, do something different, and just reach out to us if there's things that you would like to see, suggestions to have, or things that you're interested in doing. So we're going to have these town halls once a month. The other thing I'm doing is on the second Thursday of the month, at the same time at 6:30, I'll have office hours. It gives me opportunity to be available for you if there's things that you want to talk to me one-on-one about. Or I will sit here at my desk and get work done because there's always plenty to do. I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you to the district leadership team for being here to answer questions, and be in touch. Reach out to us. Let us know what we're doing well. Let us know areas of opportunity so we can get better, because we are Toastmasters, and the best way to do that is to hear from you, get feedback from you. So I'd like to close this meeting officially. And if anybody would like to stay online, you certainly can. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for people to get to know each other a little bit better. And well, I look forward to getting to know you all better and hopefully meet you in person soon.
Thanks so much.
You are welcome.